Never skip these 7 must-do exercises. If you're over 60, hi there, I'm Dr. David. I'm 60 this year and I've lived long enough to realize something important. Health isn't just about blood pressure, blood sugar, or cholesterol levels. True health is when you can bend down to tie your own shoes, step out the front door without grabbing the wall for balance, or simply stand up from your favorite chair without needing to push off with your hands. I'm a neurologist by training, and for more than 30 years I've had the privilege of walking alongside thousands of people over the age of 50. And if there's one thing I've learned, it's this. Nothing wounds the human spirit quite like the feeling of losing control over your own body. But here's the good news. You can get it back. Whether you're 60, 70, or even beyond, your body can still recover, still rebuild, if you know how, and if you're willing to nurture it, one small habit at a time. And in today's video, I'm not here with a prescription pad, I'm here as a companion. Together we'll go through 7 simple, gentle, yet powerful exercises designed especially for those of us over 60. You won't need a gym, no fancy equipment, just you, a small space, and a few minutes each day. If you've ever worried about your balance, if your legs have felt weaker over time, or if you've ever feared slipping in the bathroom or losing your step outside, then these exercises are for you. I'm not here to turn you into an athlete, but I can help you take back control of your steps, and with them, your confidence. Let's start this journey, right from the chair you're sitting in. First exercise, chair squat, standing up with more than just your legs. I remember one rainy afternoon a few years back when I went to visit an old patient, Mr. Walter, 68. He'd just gone through a round of heart treatment. His body was weak, but what bothered him most wasn't the fatigue. He looked at me and said, "David, what makes me saddest is that every evening I need my wife to help me get up from the chair." Have you ever felt something like that? That was when I knew. The first exercise I needed to teach him wasn't walking or lifting weights. It was simply learning to sit down and stand up from his own living room chair. It sounds so basic, I know. But this movement is one of the most essential foundations for anyone over 60, because it doesn't just strengthen the thighs and glutes, the muscles that literally hold you upright. It sends a message to your nervous system, to your heart. I'm still in control of my body. When you do this move, without using your hands, just relying on your legs, you're activating an entire chain of coordination. Your brain gives the signal, your muscles respond, your knees adjust, your spine stabilizes. It's not just a movement, it's a full-body conversation. I usually tell my patients, start small, just 5 times each morning. Breathe in, stand up slowly. Breathe out, sit back down with control, don't rush. With every rep, you're not just waking up your muscles, you're waking up the confidence that's been sleeping inside. And guess what? Today, Mr. Walter can stand on his own. He smiles when he says, "Now I don't have to sit around staring at the TV remote across the room, wishing someone would get it for me." So I ask you, are you ready to give it a try? Second exercise, toe raise, awakening, begins from the soles of your feet. I want you to try something with me. Stand up, or if that's too much right now, you can stay seated. Now gently lift the front of your feet, just your toes, off the ground. Hold it there for one slow breath, then lower them back down. It might seem like a tiny movement, right? But sometimes it's the smallest things that have the biggest impact, because what you're doing here is activating a muscle most people forget about, the tibialis anterior, right along the front of your shin. And when that muscle is strong, you're able to lift your foot properly when walking, helping you avoid stumbles and trips on rugs, uneven sidewalks, or slick tile floors. I had a patient, Linda, 74, who once tripped over the edge of a rug in her living room. She didn't break a bone, But after that, she was afraid to stand, afraid to take a step. She once told me, "Doctor, it feels like my feet aren't even mine anymore. I don't know where they are or what they're doing." And I understood, because I've seen this so many times. It's not just about weak muscles. It's about a disconnection between the brain and the body. Toe raises don't just make your legs stronger. They rebuild that mind-body connection. What we doctors call proprioception, your body's ability to sense where it is in space. Every time you lift your toes, you're sending a signal back to the brain. I'm standing. This is the floor. This is my weight. I'm here. Try this movement 10 to 15 times twice a day. At first you might not feel much, but be patient. One day, you'll find yourself walking across the park or stepping onto cobblestones, and you'll notice it. I'm walking steadier. My feet are listening again. And trust me, when your feet start talking to your brain again, the world around you begins to feel safer, more familiar, more yours. Do you remember the last time you walked without thinking, "I have to be careful"? Third exercise, side plank. Outer strength, inner calm. Let me paint you a picture. You're standing on a quiet path. There's a light breeze. A leaf drifts down in front of you. You lean sideways to pick it up, and your body wobbles. Not because your legs are weak, but because your core, the center, isn't holding you up the way it used to. That's why I love the side plank. It's not flashy. It won't build big muscles, but it trains something that most people over 60 slowly lose without realizing: side-to-side stability. One of my patients, Sam, 66, a retired firefighter, strong and fearless. After a minor stroke, he told me, "Doc, I don't trust my body anymore. One little bump, and I feel like I'll fall over." We started with the basics, but it was the side plank that brought his confidence back. Because this move targets the obliques, the hip stabilizers, the lower back, the muscles that don't just keep you upright, but keep you from tipping over when life nudges you from the side. When you prop yourself on one forearm, lift your hips off the ground and hold that line, you're doing something most people never see. You're building the foundation of balance. Hold it for just a few seconds at first, 5, then 10. Add a little more each day. Each time you do it, you're teaching your body how to react better to life's little surprises. Science calls it lateral core activation. I call it quiet trust. Your body starts to feel again. You won't need to grab the railing every time you turn around. You won't hold your breath standing on a bus or walking across a wet floor. Instead, you'll feel something anchoring you from the inside, like a tree that no longer sways just because the wind blows. And you know what? At our age, that kind of peace in how you stand, how you move, is more valuable than any muscle you could ever build. Fourth exercise, lateral leg raise, steady steps on uneven ground. I once asked an older patient of mine, "What do you think makes you fall the most?" She paused for a moment, then answered, "It's those moments when I can't adjust in time, like stepping off the edge of the driveway or when the ground tilts slightly and I don't notice it." That simple answer, it's the truth for millions of people over 60. You see, our bodies don't just need strength to move forward. They need stability when life shifts us sideways. And that's exactly why lateral leg raise is one of the most important exercises I teach. When you stand and gently lift one leg out to the side, even just a few inches, you're activating a small but powerful muscle called the gluteus medius, or side glute. It's the quiet guardian of your balance, the one that keeps you upright when stepping to the side, climbing up a curb, or slipping slightly on wet ground. In fact, a study by the National Institute on Aging found that when this muscle is weak, older adults tend to lose their center of gravity while walking, leading to falls from simply shifting directions or turning. But here's the good part. Just 3 to 4 weeks of training, this muscle can make a big difference. People report feeling less wobbly, more in control when they twist, turn, or change direction. I remember a sweet woman named Dorothy. She was 81. She once told me, "Doctor, I don't need to go far. I just want to step out to my garden, turn left, and pick a few mint leaves without falling into the bushes." So we started right there at her kitchen counter, one hand resting for balance and slowly lifting one leg to the side, holding for a second, and lowering back down. Slow, controlled, no leaning. You can start the same way, 10 reps on each leg, 2 or 3 times a day. No rush, no need to be perfect. Just lift your leg, stay tall, and notice how your body slowly remembers how to balance. And one day when you sidestep to avoid a puddle or shift direction to pick up your grandchild, you'll notice something else. You don't feel unsteady anymore. Not because youth came back, but because you trained your body to grow older, smarter. 5th exercise. Heel-to-toe walk, walking with confidence. Again, I still remember the look in Mr. Frank's eyes, he was 73, when he came into my clinic and softly asked, "I know you're going to give me medicine, Doc, but is there something that can help me walk without staring at the ground all the time?" It was a simple question, but it stayed with me. Because here's the thing. When you're always looking down with every step, you stop living in the moment. You're not admiring the trees or feeling the wind or hearing the leaves rustle. You're just thinking, will I trip? That's when I introduced him to the heel-to-toe walk. It's like walking on a tightrope, placing the heel of one foot directly in front of the toes of the other, step by step, slowly and deliberately. It sounds like a game, but it's actually a powerful neurological balance challenge. Why? Because this movement forces your brain to coordinate everything, from your ankles to your core, from your eyes to your reflexes. Just a few steps a day, and you're waking up an entire system that's been dozing off from too much sitting, too little movement. Start small, hold on to a chair, walk down a hallway, or lay tape on the floor as your line. Don't rush. Listen to your steps. Feel the subtle vibrations in your bones. If you need to pause, pause. Breathe, then continue. Studies from geriatric centers show that doing this daily can reduce fall risk by up to 40% within 3 months. But even more important than the numbers is what you'll feel. You're back in control. A month later, Frank returned. Still cautious, but his eyes were different. He smiled and said, "Now I can walk from my backyard to the mailbox without touching the wall once." That's what I want for you. Not to walk fast, but to walk free of fear. Just try it. 10 steps, morning and evening, and one day soon you'll walk as if you never forgot how to walk with certainty. 6th exercise, bridge, rebuilding inner stability. One of the questions I hear most from patients over 60 is this: why does my back hurt even when I just bend over to pick up a towel? The answer isn't always about the back itself. More often, it's because the glutes and lower core muscles, the muscles that should be supporting you, have quietly grown weak over time. You see, the body works like a chain. When one link grows too weak, another tries to take over, and the lower back, already fragile with age, ends up carrying a burden it was never meant to bear. And that's when pain starts. I want you to try a simple movement. It's called the bridge, and it's more powerful than it looks. Just lie on your back, knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Then slowly press your heels down, squeeze your glutes, and lift your hips, creating a straight line from your shoulders to your knees. Hold for a few seconds. Then lower yourself slowly, as if each vertebra is gently returning home. You might feel a light tingle in your lower back or glutes. That's your body waking up again. I call this exercise the bridge, not just because of the shape, but because it reconnects the upper and lower body, rebuilding the link between strength and support. I once taught this to Susan, 69 years old, to do each morning right after waking. At first, she told me, "I don't feel anything, doctor." But 2 weeks later, she called and said, "Today I bent down to tie my shoes, no hands, and my back. It felt young again." Isn't that something? With just one gentle movement each day, your body can start to work together again. No more disjointed effort, no more straining to stay upright. I always tell my patients, when your back rises in strength, your confidence rises with it. And here's the beautiful thing. When you feel strong from the ground up, you walk taller, stand firmer, and live just a bit lighter. Start with 8 to 10 repetitions every morning before breakfast. No rush, no tension, just your focus, one lift at a time, and soon you'll feel your body entering a new season of renewal. 7th exercise, breathing, the bridge between body and mind. If there's one thing I wish I could tell every older patient from the very first appointment, it's this: learn how to breathe again. It sounds so simple, doesn't it? We breathe every day. But when was the last time you really felt your breath, deep, full, and intentional? Over the years, I've come to realize something important. Most people aren't weak because of their bodies. They feel weak because they've lost the connection between their mind and their movement. And the bridge that reconnects the two is the breath. I remember a patient, Estelle, 75. She once told me something I've never forgotten. "I was doing the exercises you gave me, doctor, but I didn't feel truly alive until you taught me to breathe in before standing and breathe out as I sat back down." You see, a single mindful breath can steady your blood pressure, ease pressure in your spine, and calm your entire nervous system. Not just your muscles, but your heart and brain begin to cooperate again. That's why I always tell my patients, no matter what movement you're doing, squats, leg raises, side planks, or balanced steps, slow down and follow one simple rhythm. Inhale before you push. Exhale as you move. And when you start focusing on your breath, something beautiful happens. You stop just exercising and start reconnecting with yourself. Even the simplest motions can become quiet rituals. No noise, no performance. Just you, breathing, living, growing stronger in stillness. And in that stillness, you'll rediscover trust in your own body, no matter how many seasons it has lived through. Restoring trust in every step. My dear friend, we've just walked through 7 exercises together, but if you were to ask me, what's the most important thing I've shared with you today? I'd say this: it's not the exercises, it's the choice, the quiet, everyday choice to begin again with a gentle stand up from your chair, with a steady lift of your foot, with a single mindful breath, with the inner voice that says, "I haven't given up. I'm still here. I'm still living." I know some days you feel slower, maybe a little shakier, maybe hesitant to move, but I also know this. In those moments when you choose to pause, breathe, and move anyway, even if it's just one small motion, your body hears you. Your cells hear you. They hear, "I'm still fighting. I'm still showing up." Aging isn't the end. Aging is the chapter where every small movement becomes a homecoming, a return to yourself. If today you feel ready to begin this journey, not to be perfect, but simply to live more fully, then I invite you. Hit that subscribe button so we can keep walking this road together. Leave a comment below. Tell me, which exercise was the hardest? What does your body need most right now? I read every single comment, and I use your words to shape the next video. Because this isn't just a health channel. This is a community of people who are still living and still moving forward. So, until next time, I'll see you on a quiet morning where you'll rise from your chair and smile knowing you just did something beautiful for yourself.